Hey, I'm back. I'm still working on the surf. I'm going to do a little, I'm still using the gouache. It's drying a little bit and this is where you can kind of dot it. I call this crazy hands. Just kind of get a little bit of this in. Now watch what I'm going to do for underneath my, from my beach, and then I'm going to show you some really fun stuff. I took some alizarin crimson and burnt umber, and I mixed it together and made a really pretty warm alizarin crimson and burnt umber. And this is what I'm going to do. This is slightly wet, and I kind of have it on here too, underneath wherever that foam is coming in. I'm just going to put it right here. Just going to kind of stagger it. And now watch what I'm going to do. That's dry. This is dry that I did. Now watch what I'm going to do. Take my brush. I switched to a 4, so I have a little bit more control. And I'm just going to take it. I've got water on my brush, and I'm just going to pull it along my beach. Look how I pulled the edge, and this is just water, and it just kind of, and maybe I'll even take a little bit of yellow ochre, just to kind of, maybe this one will be a wee bit brighter. Add a little bit of burnt umber. If it's a little too yellow, throw some burnt umber on it. It just gives you a little color underneath this beach. If it's a little too bright, just take your napkin and wipe it off. But I like this warm color underneath this. Also, underneath some of it, you can take that. Remember, we took the cobalt blue. You can throw a little bit of that underneath it too. And we can always come back and get some more foam on here. But now watch what I'm going to do. So we kind of got the beach rolling. We've got the waves. Now I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to take pure, I've got quite a bit of paint on here of the gouache. This is the gouache, the good old white gouache. Watch what I'm going to do. If you're worried that it's going to get all your paintings dirty, take a napkin. It's going to go up into the sky. I mean, it's just kind of cover up stuff that you don't want splattered. Here we go. And get a brush. This is a number 4. And this is the fun part of these. I'm just going to take my gouache. And you're going to splatter your waves. And you know, I would recommend you practice on a little piece of paper your waves if you want to, or a little tiny painting. Look at that. And I'm going to come and I'm going to lightly keep splattering. I'm taking it. I got a little paint in it, and I've got enough water, and I'm taking it and I'm flicking it. If you have nice nails, forget it. It's going to color your fingernails a little bit. Maybe I'll make this one a little bit taller. Just kind of random. And then what I can do, I can take my brush. Whoa, I got some stuff here. Never worry. Just kind of do that. Just daubed it off. Remember that pretty gray that we had? I can just kind of put that back in here if I feel I need to. Remember the cerulean blue and the black that we mixed together? I can just, see how you can wake that up? I can just kind of put that back in here. So waves are kind of interesting. You kind of get what you get. Oh, this one's kind of fun. Maybe I need this one on this side to go up a little bit. You can kind of just gauge it and make your own wave. I'm going to make it a little taller right there and thicker, like it's really smacking in there. That looks great. And then what you can kind of do, another thing that you can do, is you can take a little bit of that, this is where you ideally want it to be pretty dry, but you can, you want to give your beach a little texture, and make sure that it's dry. You can, remember we mixed a little bit of that. You can mix some burnt umber and black, or a little burnt umber and the alizarin crimson again. And you can very lightly, if you want to, whoa, again, I never freak out. You can put a little bit of texture on your sand. See how my sand's still wet in some spots. Just gives your sand a little bit of, like you've got some stuff going on. You can always take a napkin and just soften it too if it's a little crazy. And then again, I can come back. And I would ideally, do you see how we're pretty wet? We're starting to bow. You hit that with the hair dryer and that'll just suck it all back down again and it should dry it. But again, if I want to kind of make your surf coming down here a little bit more elaborate, you can kind of do that. And you can kind of reintroduce the dark color underneath if you want to put some more of these guys in here. You just kind of go back and forth, and you're basically just using the same colors. Here I can just kind of, then you can just take a dry brush if you want to, and just dot in if you feel you want to make the surf do a little more of a curve here. You can kind of fiddle with it. Isn't that pretty? And there's your crazy, and look at that. Look at that. You're going to get happy, I call them happy accidents. And man, we need some happy accidents nowadays since everybody's a little stressed out. The best thing to do is paint or do something creative so that you can kind of zone out for a half hour, an hour, and forget about everything. Just be creative. I don't care what you do. Do something with your hands or read or look at that. Oh, come on. So see, do you see what the water did? I mean, the gouache, isn't that fun? And then I can just keep messing with this a little bit. You can keep putting, you can take this. So again, very quickly, you can rip this off. I shouldn't be doing this now. If you're ripping the tape off, make sure that it's nice and dry first. Well, look at that. Isn't that fun? I would ideally dry this with the hair dryer, but voila, you've got a cool little painting. Pretty easy, and like I said, here it is tiny. There it is just little, and there it is big, and you can mess with it, and you can lift and apply colors. You can do everything. So until next lesson, stay safe, stay well, and paint.